Hello, my name is Wayne Babbitt, and welcome to my first tutorial in Dark Basic. I'll be showing you, from beginner level to moderately advanced, how to code properly without wasting a lot of time or energy or effort creating failures or errors or having your programs end unexpectedly. So let's start with the very basics. We have two major commands that are lots of fun to do, called do and loop. Well, what do you think those do? When you do something, you have a list of commands. And then when you loop, references back to do. So it goes all the way back to do and does it all over again without end. Like watching those stupid cat videos on YouTube. Okay, we get the idea. But with video games, this can have very detrimental effects, such as being able to update characters. Imagine if it didn't do that. Yeah, you wouldn't be able to play, would you? If it just showed you your first move and didn't update. So we're going to use a technique called threading to write our scripts. So I'm going to go ahead and show you what I consider a good thread project to look like, especially when making video games. I'm going to have to do this 100 times over before I get it right, so I'm not too concerned about this particular video. Yeah, no. Okay, let's see. Blue Basic Engine. My favorite. I like blue, just so you know. Yeah, no? Yeah, you do. Okay, a little humor there. So here's just some physics setups. You know, here we have setting the display mode, the graphics to 1920 by 1080 Blu-ray quality resolution. And then we have 60 updates per second, synchronization on so that we only get 60 pictures a second, so we all stay in sync with each other. We have physics start, we have startup resource manager, we have startup buffers, and then startup level. Oh my goodness gracious, yes, we do have level startup. We have our notably do and loop sections as before, and notice in here we have our cursor location. That's just going to print this stuff on the screen. That's just all like text information right now for reference material. And then we have the mouse coordinates for zooming around. Yes, this is a working engine. Already there's some things working. It will work when I be done. I have ways of making it work. Okay, when I type with my fingers, they work. And that's what I'm going to try to teach you how to do. So we have our update resource manager, and I'll explain more about that later. Update buffers and update level. Okay, these are separate files, so all these are doing is referencing them. And then inside is all the secrets of how to do what they do to make them work. And then we have found equals 0. Because what this is just some written code to check for physics collision. Already, we're detecting collision, but we're not doing anything with it yet. Oh man! It's sloth, you know, you gotta code everything yourself. No, this isn't for the faint-hearted or the lazy. You don't want to type the code, you don't go to your teacher and go, oh, by the way, or boss, especially if you get a job, you know, oh, by the way, I already took the lessons on this, or I didn't take the lessons on this. I slept through that class, so, hey boss, you wouldn't mind coding my, work today, so, you know, my website's up, or my video game engine's built. You just do my job for me, okay, and just pay me. Yeah, that just doesn't go over with most bosses. I haven't met a boss yet that would be like, sure, sounds like a great idea. I've been just dying to do your work I paid you to do. So, what we're going to do is we're going to learn how to do it ourselves, quickly, efficiently, and have a boss that goes, wow, you're done your project already? You might need a, dare I say, raise? Oh my goodness. Okay, but we ain't there yet, so calm down. You're not getting a raise. It's just a joke. Okay? So here we go. We got Resource Manager. What's he doing here? Well, he sets up some basic stuff, you know, your rudimentary elements such as the paths of where you're storing different items are pieces of your video game, like objects and things that will be glued together to see the environment rotate and shift and do all the things it's supposed to do. Elevators that go up and elevators that go down, and characters that walk forward and backward and hopefully not glitch or rubber band. Walking forward and suddenly going 10 feet back and starting all over again. All kinds of crazy glitches have been built out there. Not on purpose, but my mistake. But just think, you won't be one of those coders that go, he built a great game engine, but he is known for this glitch. No, that's not good for a programmer. Oh yeah, if I want a glitch, I know who to call up for that one. No, that's not good. No buenos, no good. So let's go ahead and look at the next section, which is buffers. This is a very key element in video game development and overlooked by many companies in the beginning years, starting in the 1980s, going up through to even 2000. Even some modern day people just go, I'll be lazy, I'll just keep reading the mouse, or reading the joystick for the input. And the problem is what happens if the user changes in the middle of their checking. So they check to see if the mouse is clicked to draw the graphics for it, for like say a mouse button, for like an OK button. So then they show it click because the mouse was clicked. Then they let go and they don't run the click event. It says, is the mouse clicked? Oh, no it's not. So you have a mouse, a button on your desktop that looks clicked, and it's not running the event. And then sometimes it runs it, and sometimes it doesn't, depending on how you click and release the mouse. Okay, we're talking about computer mechanical mice. For those of you who didn't catch that. I'll just keep moving before I kill myself. Okay, so we have the keyboard buffer, we have the mouse buffer, the joystick buffer, and the timer buffer. So what we're going to do is we're going to read these sensors 60 times a second, maybe even faster. But whenever we need to use it, we're going to refer to a buffer, which is a memory location where the last time it got checked, that value gets stored. So it's going to be a constant value until it's read again. So we don't have glitches or events that like half click, that say half the time they say they're clicked, half the time they're not, and intermittent key presses and stuff like that. This will prevent sticky keys and all kinds of other issues you may normally find. And so here are just some exciting parts. Here we're declaring the different types of variables for the keyboard. We have the function which starts up the variables. You know, this code runs only the first time that the program runs. Every time you open it, it'll read this one time, and then it never reads it again, because it doesn't need to. Then the update section that actually restores your variables, your buffers, buffer variables, and then the section that actually reads the actual sensors. These ones in blue are dark basic commands that go out to machine code that read your keyboard, your mouse, and all. Well, this one in particular, your keyboard, gets any key presses, any values there, and then stores them back so that you know if a key was pressed or not and all that sorts of stuff. Then we have this one for the mouse, same exact layout. And then the joystick, same exact layout. And then finally, for the timer. And this is good because this will read the system clock time, accurate up to 1,000th of a second, in increments of 1,000th of a second. So there's 1,000 of these every second. If you need something more accurate, there probably are other clocks, techniques. You may have to code that in yourself to machine code it or get a driver to access a more precision clock. But this will work for now in our games and stuff. It doesn't really need to be super fancy. So this is what I've coded up, and allows us 256 of them, so you can use them for player pickup. So you walk past one, you pick up the item, and it starts the timer. So you could have it set for 30 seconds, you could have it set for 1 second, you could set it for 10 minutes, or you could have the timer off before re-showing another item there. So this way, you could pick up say a gun and 5 rounds of ammo. And then 30 seconds later, as the timer counts down, it shows up again. So if you walk over it again, you get another 5 rounds of ammo until you reach your max magazine capacity. And so it can be used for all sorts of things in your game development. And that's not the only use, but that's a pretty good one right there. So I'll just leave it at that. A couple examples. Now let's go on. So that's pretty much our buffers for building the video game. Now let's go on to the actual meat of the project. The part that you're like, oh, whatever. This is just a lot of coding and I haven't seen anything happen yet. Well, hang on to your seats. It's about to go live. Oh yeah, I said live. Okay. Now that we have that done, this here is startup level. Here we just have a dummy command set for setting up for loading some environment things in to our level to create the level itself that will eventually be put into a file. Then you can, then I can create, or you can create your level editor, and you won't deal with this anymore. It'll be all coded in, and it'll read a file instead. But for now, we're just going to use this technique. So here we have under startup level, we're going to start up our skybox, our elevation, static mesh, dynamic mesh, pickups and characters, and though yes, this is not complete, there will be more. And then we update them in our update section. So update level, well, tell it to update the skybox, update the elevation, update the static meshes, update the dynamic meshes, exploding barrels, all sorts of stuff, and pickups and characters. And then we have the actual files where we have our skybox and the parameters for rotating it, to have auto-rotate X, Y, Z coordinates, and to what level, how fast, how slow, all that other stuff, all that good stuff is in here. And then the elevation, and then the static meshes, dynamic meshes, pickups. I'll get more into it probably later. But it's pretty much, you see a general format going on here. This is just introductory. And this is not even close to being finished. However, it does do this. You ready? You're about to see it work. I'm going to click. Let's hope this compiles properly. It says building executable. An executable is not the same as execution. Okay, kids? You can actually watch this. You might not want to watch an execution. And here's our scary model that does not animate yet. But see, I can rotate it. Yes, yeah. Okay, you got stuck on that mesh there. Yeah, not all collision is accurate yet. Still working on it. Bye-bye. Oh, hello. I want you there. Okay, so we have semi-working environment. If you see around here, some of the things I've done. Especially the character. We have a couple of pickups here. Some fun, interesting stuff. Yeah, no, the basics. Our character can walk over, but they can't pick them up yet. And up here, it's going to show our collision. What object A collided with object B. And we should get some collision soon over here. Yeah, see right there. One of those numbers is the character, and one is the actual item. So we have 15 and 14, and 15 and 10, so the character is 15 at the moment. And that pickup is 12, right there. Let's have a closer look. Ooh, and we have health and armor, and so there's all sorts of stuff we can do. And I'm horrible at zooming in and out. There we go. So seeing a few simple lines, and with the right technique, you yourself can build this. And I can show you how. And I will. As best of my ability to do so, of course. Now that you know I'm all crazy about video game programming, we can learn together. Grow together. Build video games together. Maybe. Let's see. I hope you check out my other videos after this. This is only an intro to it, so if you don't mind my nuttiness, see what I did there? You're going to want to check out my future videos. Alright, see you next time.